Rick, big performance, man. Big win. Good performances all over the pitch.
Absolutely.
We knew our midfield has been a problem, and if Pereira was going to play in it next to Fred, it was going to be an issue. Yeah. Luckily, McTominay was back, so that was an easy decision for Solskjaer to make. Where do you stand on that performance? What it means for Ollie, what Ollie did, what Ollie didn't do, what the players did do, Rashford, etc. Where do you stand on all of it?
It was a really good performance. Well pleased with it. Loads of energy. I don't want to harp on about it, but we have said before that we tend to pull it out against the good sides. We've not lost to one of the big teams yet, and now if you include Leicester in it, I think we've played 5. We've got City coming on Saturday, and that'll be 6. So in that respect, it wasn't really a surprise, but it was helped heavily by McTominay coming back. With McTominay in midfield, it's like having 11 and a half players, and when Pereira plays in midfield, it's like having 10 and a half. So the difference is mega. It's absolutely mega. So that was the main difference. Young Greenwood looks a really nice
people say
player.
He wasn't in the game, but what I saw from him was the simple things, all the things he had to do, he did well. Looking after it, bringing people into play, knowing when to release it.
A lot of people have been on to me this week, because I always bang on about Marshall, right? And I've had people saying to me this week he's only scored 3 goals this season and he's only created so many, blah, blah, blah. Greenwood has got a lot in his game that's very similar. He's playing at centre forward tonight. He comes away from the... He's ever so slight. If he was mixing it with their centre backs, he'd just get knocked off the ball. Yeah. He knows that. He's intelligent. He finds a little bit of space, a little bit of a pocket of space, like Marshall does. He's got a lovely first touch, and he's aware of where his teammates are. And it's a vital job. If you can't win headers in the box and you can't knock people about, that's how to play centre forwards. Marshall knows how to do it. I've seen Greenwood tonight. Greenwood tonight played better against Spurs than he played against Rochdale.
Yeah,
he's playing with better players. He's playing against better players, but he knows how to play, and he's finding space and he's receiving passes because he's playing with better players. He played really well.
What does it look like to Ollie then? Is it like that's why you should be playing him, Ollie, or well done Ollie for playing him in this type of game in this position? Where do you stand on that and where he goes with Greenwood? Because obviously, assuming if Martial's fit for the derby, he starts, but. Going forward for Greenwood, how does Solskjaer manage him? How does he use him? Should he be using him more, considering Solskjaer talked him up?
The way he played tonight, I'd have no problem with him using him more. None whatsoever. I mean, he is still dead young. He can score a goal. I think maybe still have him on the bench and give him 20 minutes here and there, but I wouldn't have no problem whatsoever if they had to throw him in. Somebody said to me during the week, what would you think about Greenwood at 9? If you look at his goal at Sheffield, he's right on the defenders. He's right on the defenders and he slides in to score. So he's got that nose for a goal inside the box, but today he's having to come short for the ball all the time, so he didn't get on the end of a chance. Now, if you look at when Marshall plays, he also comes short for the ball. Somebody said to me, why don't we play Greenwood at 9 and Marshall at 10? The chance at the weekend when against Villa, when Marshall slipped Dan James through and Dan James fired it across the 6-yard box. I have a feeling if Greenwood was at 9, he might have got on the end of that. Do you understand what I mean?
Because he's having to drop off there. He's vacating that space and can't always get there.
There was nobody there at weekend.
Rashford though.
Rashford today.
Absolutely. Is that when he's at his best and when we have to look at him and say, we need him playing like that and getting him in them areas, and he needs to apply himself like that consistently.
I swear to God, Flex, I've never seen him play as well.
I've
never seen him play as well. I mean it. He was a man possessed. Yeah. I think the keeper may have done a little bit better, but he got plenty of power in it, and it was just inside the post, so fair enough. He had another great effort. The keeper got his fingertips to it. He had a bit of a curling effort. I don't know the exact stats, but I've got a feeling he only gets 1 shot in 3 on target normally, but it was 3 out of 3 tonight. I can't remember if he had any others. But then a brilliant run for the penalty. He had another brilliant run down that wing as well.
He gave Aurier an absolute run around,
on fire, and you know very well I slated him at weekend, which I did.
Yeah.
And he was the worst player on the field at weekend. He was the best player on the field tonight. So how that changes, I don't know.
Going into the City game though, well, actually before the City game, what is that? Has this eased pressure for Solskjaer? And if he didn't get the right result today, did you fear for his position?
I don't think he'd have gone tonight if we'd have lost, unless maybe we had an heavy defeat. I wouldn't have been surprised if we'd have had an heavy defeat tonight. I wouldn't have been surprised.
Not a lot of people were confident after
They've been scoring goals. I think I said to you the weekend, they've been letting goals in, but they've also been scoring goals. In fact, he's been in charge 4 games and they've let 2 in every game. That's unlike a Mourinho team. it was just unbelievable, really, the way the game went. I want to mention Ashley Young. He gets a lot of stick, Yeah. I think he was class tonight. In fact, I'm going to do a Twitter thread about Ashley Young. Having just watched it live, I'm not 100% sure that he didn't make any mistakes, but I can remember one, I think, where he lost it in the early in the second half. But to me, he was absolutely superb. Lucas Moore is one of the most difficult opponents you could have. He got the curly finger after 65 minutes. Now I know maybe they wanted to change it up, fair enough, but still, it's Ashley Young's man, and he gets dragged off.
Is that like typical Ashley Young in terms of in the big games? You can rely. This is what I kept saying. Like, people say Ashley Young should never play for the club again and stuff like that. But for me, I see Ashley Young as this. It's not his fault. He's been asked to play as a fullback for as long as he has, but he's always kept himself fit and ready. And what he lacks in ability and stuff, I know he's going to make silly mistakes, and you can't rely on him in certain games. But he's always there. And in the big games, he's pocketed Salah, he's pocketed Hazard, he's pocketed Mane before. Like, in terms of the big game, he does kind of turn up, doesn't he?
How old is he now? I'm not sure.
He's like 33 now, isn't he?
Right, but he's quick, he's strong, he's fit as a fiddle.
I'm not saying he should start every game.
He's good in the air. He's good in the air. I was, I think I said to you at weekend that. I mean, Williams has done great.
Yeah.
He's only 19, the kid. I'd like a little bit like Greenwood. I'm not quite sure he's ready yet. I mean, maybe Greenwood might be, to be fair. You know, the way he plays, his physical strength might not matter because he escapes the players and he escapes challenges. A left back can't do that. Do you know what I mean? And to me, loads of people are saying Williams should play. In my book, right now, maybe not in 12 months, but right now, Williams is third choice left back in my book. The more experienced players are important, especially in games.
But you
like
think
that.
they should do you think they should be getting ahead of him every game?
Well, we've got City. We've got City at weekend, haven't we? There's no way in the world they can drop Ashley Young at weekend. I know we've got smaller games coming up as well, but I just think he's a stronger player. If he's a stronger player against City and he's a stronger player against Spurs, he's also a stronger player when we play Bournemouth or West Ham, isn't he?
Okay, but be patient and the kid will get his chances because he's done well this season.
He's already had his chance and he's done well. There's no problem whatsoever. I mean, it may or may not be a coincidence. He had to go off at weekend. I don't think he was properly injured, but I think he got a bit of a knock. Yeah. And he's just not as physically strong. Yeah. I mean, I don't know exactly what happened, but I think there's a fair chance Ashley Young could have got the same knock and carried on. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
I see what you say. Well, to finish off, City game. A free hit for Ollie, or can we nick a draw? Can we win?
It's definitely a free hit. I mean, we've got to set our stall out really to try and stop them. They're another step up again from Spurs, aren't they?
Absolutely.
I think he's going to have sleepless nights, Ollie, deciding what to do. The way we've played tonight and the way we pushed forward and the energy in the team was fantastic. It's a little bit easier at home as well, so we're now away to a better side. I think it could be playing into their hands if we try and play it like that. And Ollie will be thinking that. At the minute, well, I'm assuming he'll have a sleepless night wondering what to do. He'll be thinking about playing 5 at the back, 5 across the middle. He'll be thinking all sorts. So what he's going to do, I don't know.
What's your gut feeling?
We'll get beat 2-0.
Yeah. That's really precise. And man of the match for you go, Rick?
Man of the match tonight, for me, it's got to be McTominay.
Yeah.
Got to be. It made all the difference.
Pleasure, Rick.
Thanks a lot.
See you Saturday. Big thank you to you guys for watching the latest of our videos, and if you want to check out more, make sure you do that just to the right of me. We are the biggest and best Manchester United channel in the world. Make sure you check us out on all of the socials as well: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and YouTube. The socials are along the bottom. Peace.